All right. We've got a whole stack of articles about AI here, and you know what that means, right?
We're about to dive deep into the ethical frontier of AI.
You got it.
Awesome. I'm ready when you are.
Perfect. So we're taking a look at this piece called AI Debates the Ethical Frontier. And let me tell you, it's a deep dive into all the big questions.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me. What kind of questions are we talking about?
We're talking ethics, jobs, safety,
Yeah.
even the future of humanity. I mean, it's all in here. Oh, and get this. There's a story about an AI glitch that happened during a live event.
Whoa. Okay, yeah. That's definitely something to think about. I mean, where do we even begin with all of this?
Well, how about with the ethics of it all? I mean, that's a hot topic right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Where do we draw the line with AI?
Right.
There's this new AI governance bill making the rounds, and it's really causing a stir.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about that one. It's pretty controversial.
Yeah, some people think we need super strict ethical guidelines, to protect us.
To keep things from getting out of hand. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but then you've got others who think that'll just kill innovation before it even gets started.
Totally. It's a tough balance to strike. You don't want to stifle progress, but you also want to be responsible.
Exactly. It's like a tightrope walk.
Yeah.
So in this article, we've got Dr. Maya Chen, an ethics expert, and she's saying we absolutely need these strong regulations.
Oh, yeah. Dr. Chen. I've read some of her work. She's brilliant. Really emphasizes that AI needs to serve humanity's best interests,
Hmm.
that without these laws, things could get really messy really fast.
Yeah, it's like building a skyscraper without a blueprint. You're just asking for trouble.
Exactly. But then on the other side of the debate, you have people like Leo Silva.
Okay.
He's a big tech entrepreneur, and he's pushing back hard against too much regulation.
I can see why you'd be concerned.
Yeah, he's worried it'll stifle innovation and prevent AI from reaching its full potential. He believes that AI needs room to breathe, to experiment, even to make mistakes. That's how it learns and grows.
So how do we find that middle ground? How do we create responsible AI without putting it in a straitjacket?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is.
It's a global conversation, too. I mean, different countries are taking different approaches right now. So will we end up with a patchwork of conflicting regulations, or can we agree on some universal ethical standards?
It's a bit of a Wild West situation out there right now.
Yeah.
But let's be back down to earth for a second. As these AI systems become more and more powerful, how do we make sure they're used for good?
Mm.
I mean, nobody wants a rogue AI running around causing chaos.
Right.
It's the stuff of nightmares.
It all comes down to the values and principles that we bake into these systems right from the beginning. I mean, if you're designing an AI for medical diagnoses, for example, you need to make sure it prioritizes patient well-being,
Of course.
and avoids bias in its recommendations.
Yep.
All while respecting patient privacy, of course.
So it's not just about making AI smart, it's about making it ethical.
Exactly. And that requires a massive collaborative effort. We need everyone on board, developers, ethicists, policymakers, the public. We all need to be working together to ensure that AI is used for good.
That sounds like a huge undertaking.
It is, but it's essential. The stakes are too high to ignore.
All right, let's shift gears for a bit and talk about something a little closer to home.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
What do you have in mind?
Jobs.
Jobs. Oh, right.
Our jobs.
Yeah. I've seen the headlines. It's definitely a hot topic.
It is. One company just announced they're automating like half their workforce, and let me tell you, the internet is freaking out.
Yeah, I can imagine. People are worried about robots taking over.
Exactly. Are robots coming for our jobs, or is this just, the next step in this technological evolution we need to adapt to?
Well, it's a complex issue. There are valid points on both sides. On one hand, you've got folks like Dr. Neil Patel. He's a futurist, and he's actually pretty optimistic about AI's potential in the workplace. Yeah, he believes it will create new job categories, enhance our capabilities, make us more efficient and productive.
So it's not necessarily about replacing jobs, but more about changing them.
Exactly. He argues that AI will free us up from all those tedious tasks, allowing us to focus on more creative and fulfilling work. But of course, not everyone shares this rosy view.
Right.
I mean, labor advocates like Sandra Ruiz are concerned about potential unemployment and the need for retraining.
Mhm.
Not everyone has the resources or the time to adapt to this rapidly changing job market.
It's a valid concern, especially with the speed at which AI is developing.
Absolutely. It's a challenge we need to address head on.
Yeah. What's interesting, though? I saw that the hashtag AI jobs is trending. And people are actually sharing stories about how AI helped them find better jobs.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
It's not all doom and gloom.
No, definitely not. It just highlights how nuanced this whole situation is. AI is reshaping the job market in all sorts of ways, both good and bad. And it's happening right now. This actually brings up a pretty important question for you.
Okay, shoot. What is it?
Could parts of your job be automated?
Hmm.
If so, what does that mean for you?
Whoa. Okay, you're really making me think.
Are you ready for the AI revolution in your field?
Well, I guess that's a question we should all be asking ourselves. Speaking of revelations, remember that AI glitch I mentioned?
Oh, yeah, the one that happened during a live event.
Yeah, that one. Well, it's got a lot of people worried about AI safety. Are we cutting corners in our race to develop AI? Is the Wild West getting a little too wild?
It definitely made people stop and think, that's for sure.
Yeah, like, are we playing with fire here?
Right.
I mean, it's kind of like watching a tightrope walker without a net, you know?
Yeah,
Exciting, but you can't help but feel a little nervous.
totally. So where do the experts stand on all of this, on AI safety?
Well, it seems like they're divided as usual.
Yeah, I guess that's to be expected.
You've got AI safety researchers like Dr. Alan Green, and he thinks we're actually learning from our mistakes.
He's the one who says every glitch, every error is an opportunity to learn right.
That's him. He argues that these incidents, while concerning, are actually helping us figure out where the vulnerabilities are.
And develop better safety measures.
So it's a constant game of cat and mouse.
Yeah, kind of. AI pushes the boundaries and then we have to scramble to catch up with the safety protocols.
It's like we're building the plane as we're flying it.
In a way, yes.
But not everyone is convinced that we're moving fast enough.
Right.
You know, we've got cybersecurity analyst Emily Stone, and she is much more cautious.
Yeah, I can see her point.
She's worried that we're developing AI faster than we can make it safe.
Which is a scary thought.
It is. It's like we're racing towards this amazing future, but we forgot to put the brakes on the car.
She's urging for a more proactive approach, you know? We need to identify and mitigate those potential risks before they become real problems.
Before they blow up in our faces.
Exactly.
Okay, full disclosure, I gotta say, I find all of this both terrifying and exciting.
Yeah,
It's like we're living in a sci-fi movie.
I know what you mean. It's incredible to think about how quickly AI is evolving.
But the stakes are high.
So high.
We need to be asking some serious questions, like, should we slow down? Should we hit pause on AI development until we can guarantee its safety? Or is that just not realistic in this fast-moving field?
I don't know. It's a tough call. I mean, halting progress could mean missing out on huge potential benefits, but rushing ahead could have unforeseen and potentially disastrous consequences.
It's a dilemma for sure.
It is.
But speaking of potential benefits, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the good that AI can do.
Okay, yeah, let's focus on the positive for a bit.
I mean, in the midst of all this talk about ethics and safety, it's easy to forget that AI is already making a real difference in so many areas.
It is.
From healthcare to climate change, AI has the potential to make our lives better.
It does. It really does.
And in some cases, it's already happening.
Right.
I mean, think about it. AI-powered medical treatments, diagnosing diseases with incredible accuracy, even assisting surgeons during complex procedures.
It's pretty mind-blowing when you stop and think about it.
It is. It's like something out of a sci-fi novel.
And it's only going to get more advanced.
So what other cool AI applications are out there?
Well, in the fight against climate change, AI is being used to optimize energy grids,
Okay.
predict those extreme weather events that we're seeing more and more of, and develop more efficient carbon capture technologies.
So AI could help us save the planet.
It very well could. The potential is there.
That's amazing.
And let's not forget about AI's creative side.
Oh, right.
AI is being used to compose music, write poetry, and even create incredible works of art.
So AI isn't just about cold, hard algorithms.
Nope, there's a creative spark there too.
It can express itself.
It can. Which brings us back to the importance of ethics, We need to ensure that AI is used to help humanity, to empower us, not to exploit us.
You're absolutely right. But how do we actually go about ensuring ethical AI development? It all feels so theoretical sometimes.
Well, researchers and ethicists are working hard to develop those guidelines and frameworks for responsible AI development.
Right.
One of the key principles they're focusing on is transparency.
Transparency. Okay.
We need to understand how these AI systems make decisions, what data they're using.
Otherwise, we're just creating these black boxes that we can't control.
Exactly. Transparency is key to building trust, just like in any relationship.
So what other principles are they focusing on?
Well, accountability is another big one.
Accountability.
Who is responsible when an AI system makes a mistake or causes harm? That's a really tough question with both legal and ethical implications that are still being debated.
It's a legal minefield.
It really is. If a self-driving car causes an accident, who do we blame? The AI, the developer, the owner of the car.
That's a tough one.
These are the kinds of questions that lawyers and lawmakers are grappling with right now as AI becomes more and more integrated into our lives.
It's amazing how much AI is changing everything you know.
It is. It's a real paradigm shift.
Our legal system, our social norms. It's a technological revolution happening at warp speed.
And that's why platforms like this podcast are so important. We
Yeah.
need to have these conversations, to try to make sense of it all.
Demystify AI.
Make it less intimidating and empower people to get involved in these really important discussions.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get philosophical for a minute.
Okay, I'm game.
Imagine a world where AI helps us become a Type 1 civilization.
Yeah.
Masters of our planet's energy utopia or dystopia. What are your thoughts?
It's a question that's been floating around for ages.
A big one.
A Type 1 civilization, one that can harness all the energy on its planet. I mean, it's pretty awe-inspiring.
It's like straight out of Star Trek. Imagine a world without energy scarcity,
Right.
where we can power everything we need using the full force of our planet.
It's mind-blowing, and some experts believe AI could be the key to reaching that level of advancement.
So we could actually achieve that.
Potentially. I mean, think about it. AI managing global resources, optimizing energy production and consumption, minimizing waste, even discovering new sources of clean energy.
Okay, so like Dr. Omar Patel, the environmental scientist.
Exactly. He believes that AI could lead us to a more sustainable and abundant world.
That sounds pretty utopian.
It does, doesn't it?
But isn't there a risk of giving AI too much control?
That's a valid concern, for sure.
What about human autonomy? Are we okay with machines calling the shots?
Well, that's where things get a little tricky.
Yeah.
Philosopher Dr. Elise Dubois, she's pretty cautious about putting too much faith in AI.
Makes sense.
She argues that relying too heavily on AI could lead to us losing control over our own destiny.
So it's like a double-edged sword.
It is. AI has this incredible potential to solve some of our biggest challenges, but we have to be careful about how much power we give it.
It's a tough balance.
It really is. It's like this ongoing debate, Do we embrace the utopian possibilities, or do we guard against a dystopian future where machines take over?
It's enough to make your head spin.
I know, right?
But one thing's for sure. We're living in a truly remarkable time.
We are. AI is changing everything, and the future is wide open.
It's exciting and a little bit scary all at the same time.
Totally, and that's why it's so important to have these conversations.
To demystify AI and get people thinking about its implications.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some key takeaways for our listeners?
Well, first of all, stay curious. Keep learning about AI.
Knowledge is power.
It really is. There are so many resources available online, articles, videos, even podcasts like ours.
We try to make it fun and accessible.
We do.
But beyond just learning about AI, it's important to get involved,
Yeah, use your voice.
Advocate for ethical AI development.
Exactly. Support organizations that are working to create responsible AI guidelines and hold companies and governments accountable.
So we can vote with our wallets and our voices.
Absolutely. Even small choices like supporting companies that prioritize ethical AI can make a difference.
That's empowering. We're not just passive bystanders in this AI revolution.
Not at all. We have the power to shape its direction.
Well said. It's been an amazing journey exploring the ethical frontier of AI with you.
It really has. I've enjoyed it.
We hope you've learned something new, gained a fresh perspective, and maybe even had a few laughs along the way.
Always a good time.
Remember, the conversation about AI doesn't end here.
It's just the beginning.
Stay curious, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay informed.
Yes.
Let's make sure that AI is used to build a better future for everyone. Until next time.